Chet TV's studios in British Columbia, this is Chet TV News with Marlon Gomez.
Let's turn over to regional news now. Last week we told you about the civil claim that BC Hydro has filed against the individuals camping out in Rocky Mountain Fort. Since then, we got a chance to go visit the camp where a group of Treaty 8 members, land users, and farmers are actively stopping clear cutting that's happening on the south bank of the Peace River. Here's a look at the full story. Upon arriving to the camp, it was evident to see that this wasn't your average bush camp. Through donations and hours of labor during their time off from work, people here are taking a peaceful stand for what they believe in. Specifically, they're asking BC Hydro to stop construction while pending trials that challenge their permits come to an end. Art Napoleon, a Treaty 8 member and former chief of Saulteaux Nations, says the people here should not be labeled as extreme protesters.
If they spent any time with these people and got to know them, they'd see these are the salt of the earth types, very respected, respectable ranchers and landowners and farmers and people who have been social workers. We have bloggers, writers, people who work in media. These are not your eco-terrorists.
As BC's electric utility, BC Hydro is responsible for figuring out the best way to supply energy to most areas in the province. For them, here in the Peace, the answer is simple. Hydroelectric dams are the most cost-effective option. With two already operating along the Peace River, BC's government agrees with them and says large hydroelectric projects are cost-effective because after an upfront cost, they have a low operating cost for more than 100 years, and their cost to ratepayers decreases over time. Mark Mears has been using these lands to fish, hunt, and camp for over 45 years, and he says there are other alternatives that BC Hydro should be paying attention to.
Look at Calgary. In the last couple of years, they've built 2 cogeneration plants, one right in the middle of Calgary. The city of Calgary has done this themselves. I don't mean a big corporation has done it, but the city of Calgary has done this. BC
Hydro has received environmental assessment approvals from the federal and provincial governments after a 3-year environmental review, including a joint review panel process. However, they have not undergone an independent review by the BC Utilities Commission, as recommended by the Joint Review Panel. People here aren't opposed to the idea of using this land to harness electricity, they just don't think that flooding this valley is the best option.
We've had experts that have given opinions on alternatives, greener alternatives, and so those were all presented at one time or another to Hydro, and Hydro just wouldn't really actually consider it because they believed that what they had in place, they had all their angles covered and they were going to railroad this no matter what.
With both sides unable to come to an agreement, Treaty 8 members are asking for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to hear what they have to say.
A chance for him to show his commitment. He's gone on record as saying, yes, reconciliation with our First Nations is important. Put your money where your mouth is, and actually, it's 2016. Get off your ass and meet with us. I'll use his own line. Hey, because it's 2016.
Chet TV is owned and operated by the Chetwynd Communication Society. You can find us on Channel 655 on Bell, Eastlink Channel 40, or on Air Channel 55. Chet TV, your station.